Let me just close with William Branham's vision. In 1933, William Branham had 7 dreams and visions, one right after another. And when I had shared this dream that I had had a few hours ago, Rick said to me, I want you to look up William Branham's vision. He said it's online. Vision 1 in his dream or vision in 1933. You have to know a little bit of history to understand what he was saying. He saw in a vision that the dictator of Italy, Mussolini, would invade Ethiopia, and according to the voice speaking to William Branham, that he would fall at his steps, Ethiopia would. However, the voice continued and prophesied a dread end of the dictator, for he would have a horrible death, and his own people would literally spit on him. And so that came to pass just as he saw it. Vision 2, he said the next vision, America would be drawn into a war against Germany, which would be headed up by the Austrian Hitler, Adolf Hitler. The voice predicted that this terrible war would overthrow Hitler, and he would come to a mysterious end. In the vision, he was shown that there would be a great toll on American lives, but America would extract Hitler, and Hitler would be defeated. And that was before the war, so that was 1933. This took place. Vision 3, the third part of the vision, he saw fascism, Nazism, and communism in the world. He said that first 2 would come to nothing, but communism would flourish. God speaking to him, the voice, they called it to him, said, keep your eyes on Russia concerning future involvement, for fascism and Nazism would end up in communism. And that took place. In 1933, the voice admonished him to watch Russia. One of the 31 things that God spoke to me again in 2000, just right at 2000, was watch Russia. Is that right? I couldn't believe it when I read this from these writings from William Branham. The voice admonished him to watch Russia. It did not say watch the Soviet Union, but rather Russia. Since 1989, the Soviet Union is no more. Vision 4 predicted tremendous technology advances right after the war. He saw egg-shaped cars. I think it must have saw the Volkswagen. And then he actually saw cars that would drive themselves, which it's on the road right now. They're testing the driverless cars. The fifth one that appeared involving the women of the world. In this scene, he began to see fast moral decay of women. Back when she received her so-called liberty to enter the worldly affairs by means of voting. That the women couldn't even vote when he had this vision. And so soon women, he saw in the vision, would begin to wear clothing that was revealing. They adopted the clothing of men. Finally, the vision showed her all but stripped naked, and she merely covered herself with like a tiny apron about the size and shape of a fig leaf, he said. This is what he saw in 1933, and women had bathing suits that went up to their necks and down to their feet. Vision 6. There arose in the United States a most beautiful woman clothed in splendor and great power was given to her. The vision indicated that either such a woman would literally arise or that this woman of the vision was merely a type of organization which is scripturally characterized by a female. There's so much more. I'm going really fast through it. I don't have time. I believe what he saw in America was the harlot of Revelation. I believe it was the commerce, it was all the goods, the money, all the stuff. If you read 2 chapters in the book of Revelation, I believe what he saw, what God was showing him, was what would happen in America. And this is the harlot of Revelation. Vision 7, and I'm closing with this. The voice bade him look once more as he turned and beheld a great explosion. Seemed to cover almost all the land of America and left the land of America smoldering in chaotic ruin. As far as the eye could see, there was naught but craters and smoking piles of debris. And that was William Branham's 7th vision in 1933. All 6 of them, I believe, have already taken place, except for number 7. And the Bible says that will happen.